Hey friends, Shane from HowToWrench.com, and we are pretty excited that we have made a lot of progress in the shop, getting things clean and organized into the fabrication area. As you can see here, we have the different drill presses. A lot of this is going to go away when we figure out what exactly we want. Trying to fit everything where it doesn't have to sit outside. We're trying to figure out what we're going to do because this will extend back into this area where I can grab whatever welding equipment and then pull it out real quickly and not be inside any building to do outside welding for our projects. I even got a cord ready to go, properly gauged. But today's video, we wanted to highlight, we finally got one of the Vevor Mag Drills like you saw in the thumbnail. So let's go ahead and get this thing opened up, and we've got a pretty cool use. We're going to use this to fix a problem with a safe that we bought, a gun safe. So let's just get it opened up, see what's in there, and then put the thing to work. Hey friend, smash that subscribe button. It really helps us out. Hundreds of videos and playlists on here for you. Enjoy the video. I don't want to bore you to death. You can slow this down if you want to watch it, but it is super well packaged, even with a wood bottom. Everything went together literally in a couple of minutes, as you'll see here. Like I said, it was just threading on a couple things. It does come with a manual, which I did verify on the coolant system, how it went together. Let me get this all unpackaged, and you can just slow this down, like I said, if you want. All right, let's check this thing out. As you can see, you can pick it up. This thing is quite heavy. The version that we have does not have the adjustable RPM limiter on there, so that would be nice, but we do have another Vevor tool, a Variac, that we could take and control that speed if we do think that we are drilling too fast. We can play with that. We can see here the magnet is super strong. I'm moving the whole table here. It's like a 300 pound, 400 pound table, or 400 pounds with all the stuff that's on here. So a heck of a strong magnet. Then we have the coolant reservoir, which is really cool. It goes down through the center of this, and this little plunger that you put up in there, I'll talk about these bits in a second, will pop up and then let the coolant flow down through the middle of what you're drilling. That's pretty slick. On the less expensive version I have, you have two set screws that hold in whether you use the drill adapter or if you're going to put in the boring bits. You just tighten up each one of these set screws. Yeah, I see how that lifts up, and that's going to let the coolant run down to this. But also when we get to the end, this is spring loaded, and now pop the little plug out that you're drilling. So if you're doing core drilling, that is going to be a heck of a nice feature. Boy, this thing is nice and tight. So that's cool. The other thing that we have here is it actually has adjustable gibs on here on the ways, so that you could take, even comes with an Allen wrench for that. And if it vibrates loose over time, or you need to stiffen up your fixture here to get really straight, accurate lines, you have 3 adjustable gibs on here to tighten up this V-track, if you will, right here. That's pretty cool. There is a scale on here, a metric scale, to give you some indication of your measurement. And then this whole drill head is adjustable up and down on this too. So even in what seems like this lowest position here, I can go ahead and move this whole head up on here to get a little bit more flexibility of what I want to do. But the big thing, you know, we're really excited about, is you're going to see how we're going to use it, is the fact that I could mount this thing on something at a different angle, like I'm going on the gun safe, to get some really good accurate drilling. So for us, that's going to be a pretty exciting feature on there. And then for the version that we have, all these different cutters that it comes with, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 different cutters from 12 by 30, 13, 15, 16, 18, 20, 21, 23, 24, 26, and 27 millimeter diameters on there. It's just a wild range that's included in here. So pretty cool on that. Obviously we got a traditional chuck as well. This one here is a Morris taper. I'd have to see what that is. Pretty exciting that that comes with that as well, because then I have a wide range of bits that I can use here. And this says 3 to 16 millimeters, so that is well beyond the half inch. Half inch would be that 13 millimeter, if you will, so we're bigger than that. It says here we're 850 RPM. It also comes with a strap so that if you have it being used in a position like this, or possibly even upside down, because that is an option. You could be hanging it up on a rafter and doing something like you wanted to drill. That'll be okay. If, let's say you wanted to completely put it on a rafter and drill like this up into something, you could. In either of those cases where you would have this mounted, really anything other than flat, a tie-down strap that you could feed through either side here and wrap around what you're doing. So that is handy as well. I think we're ready to go ahead and put this thing to use. Let me just go ahead and show you again, in case you missed it the first time, how easy it is to swap out these different bits. I just got the 2 little set screws here, and then we have an adapter we're going to put in that's on that Morse taper, and then I'm just going to push the head of the drill against that on the bench to suck it up into the Morse taper and then go put it to use. All right, let me show you what I'm working with here. I've always wanted one of these gun safes. I would have never guessed, quote unquote, how cheap I guess these can be and how small some of the hardware and stuff is. So I had to take all the guts out for the locking mechanism you see under there. I'll show you when I'm done. But basically they drill a hole in there so that they could come in and then break the lock mechanism to get the door open, like I'll show in this photo here. And when they do that, they tend to come at an angle. I've even got to weld up this little bracket where they drilled and caught the end of it. I'm going to strengthen that back up because this is on a lock so that you can overcome that solenoid and get into it with just a manual key. Well, I want to fix this, but what I didn't want to do was really mess up the face of the front. So to overcome this, I really didn't want to have to mess the face of this up and grind this all off and weld it. At least I don't think I want to do that so far. Then go to weld this thing, I take thing back out of the house. The thing I came up with is I'm going to machine this rivet to a really sharp square edge. And I'll chamfer the top side, so like when I'm cleaning and stuff, my hand doesn't, you know, get cut or whatnot. But I want this bottom edge to be really square. And then I want this mag drill to drill in just ever so lightly that I could do 2 things. I want to square up those 2 holes so that I have a straight shot instead of it being at an angle, right? And then I want this square edge to sit down in that somebody wouldn't real easily be able to come along and pry it open, because my goal is I'm going to weld it from the inside, and then over here I'll paint this one surface rather than a whole area of the door. So we'll see if this works in the end. But then, like I said, when I come through this side to fix that, I'll just weld this up, grind this down. I should be good to go, and then be able to put it back to where the lock and everything functions nominal. But like I said, I want to do a couple things. I mean, half of having a safe or anything is to slow the process down if someone gets in there. Make it really hard for them to work for it, right? So by putting this plug in there, it's actually better than it was originally because it removes the access to that solenoid. They'd have to drill other holes and come in at an angle, which they could probably all do, but I'm just making it hard. This apparently, if you know any crook out there watching YouTube videos, they know like, hey, measure from here to here. This is the spot to drill, and that's how you can do it. So I'm just going to, like I said, make it a lot harder. So I've went ahead and measured this. An end drill bit once I get the hole straight, if that makes me happy. Otherwise, I may have to go to a bigger drill bit and then really rely on my weld on the other side. If I really have to go much bigger, then I'm probably going to want to weld it on both sides. But regardless, I still want to take that mill bit and kind of face this down here. Just make it nice and flat. All right, let's put this together and go for it. Here's that feature I was talking about where you can adjust that whole bore head, if you will, to go up and down the way there and get in the right position. Super nice feature. Well, I went to use this and saw how big that chuck was. I was getting really excited about all the potential use cases with the end mills I could take advantage of in the future. This really is my first time using it and kind of getting comfortable and figuring out where to hold and support it, not smash into my nice floor of my bedroom there. I started to realize, boy, I needed some better preparation to protect the area there so I just don't make myself a world of hurt. But ounce of prevention will go a long ways. Sweet. Oh yeah, we definitely have a straight hole now. Ooh, look at that. That is freaking awesome. That's what I was hoping for. So let me show you what I meant here. Now I can plug that because it's going in a, like I said, a really nice straight hole. Definitely wouldn't want to go any looser than that. And now I've got this backside to weld up, make that nice and strong. Fill that where they were, you could see how crooked they were versus with the mag drill, we get a really nice straight shot on that. So what I'm gonna do next, like I said, is make that little countersink here so that I could set that in just a hair more. And then when I do that, I could take and cut this off in the end of the mill too and just, you know, make it a perfect length and not have to grind so much. But it'll give me plenty of weld material, that's for sure. You know, I'll tell you what, that dang mag drill made that so straight, especially because I'm all the way through the 2 holes. I really don't need to countersink this anymore. There's no point in me doing it because now I'm just dead straight. Oh, how awesome is that? Actually saved me a step. I'll turn this in the mill, get myself that sharp edge right there, and I'm gonna be done. I don't even need to do the mill. Let me just show you what I was gonna do here. I got a 2 flute and a 4 flute end mill. I was gonna come in here and just kiss that, but I just don't need to. There's just no, I guess the only, if I did counterbore it just a hair, it would make it that much harder to get underneath it to try and pry on it or trying to break that off. But man, they ain't gonna be doing that. If it's this much work, they're gonna drill a new hole. Pretty stinking cool. I'm gonna leave it alone. I'm gonna cut this sharp edge off, chain for the top side, weld it, put my safe back together and get to use the thing. Why don't I go ahead and set this up and you can see where you could put the coolant reservoir on the side. So if you're using it in this position, I think it might be kind of tough because you definitely have to be tilted down a little bit. If you were level or even a little bit back, the oil is just not going to push to that. I don't know if the centrifugal force will suck it through. I'm not really sure. Plus you'd have to have this pretty full. So to me in this position, it may just be better to do some type of manual oiling or do some type of drip system. You know what you could do? You could put this bracket on a magnet and have it sitting here and then go ahead and, because this has an on-off little, you know, open and close, if you will, at the bottom here. But that's probably what I do. I just put a magnet on this, put it up here, and then just aim the hose on another magnet right on what I'm drilling. That'd be another option too, but pretty stinking cool. All right, my friends, if you haven't done so, 1, 2, 3. All right, my friends, if you haven't done so yet, I'll put links below if you want to get one of these for yourself. But as always, like, share, and subscribe. Make it a great day and keep wrenching.